Why not spark you wet? Look how dark you get when you mark for death. Trying to blow up like nitro and dynamite sticks. Yeah, that's smoke hydro, rock diamonds, that's sick. Got paid off my flow, rock with my own clip. You can settle with the chrome and metal shit. I make it hot like a kettle kit. Who sent you?
The modern Maverick.
Who sent you?
The modern Maverick.
Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was
I'm
don't
ready.
hit me no more.
Ready?
Like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Oh, shit. It's that time of week again. It's the Modern Maverick podcast time of week again. Episode 14 today. I am your host, the Modern Maverick himself, alongside Jonathan J. Flynn. What's up?
Welcome, everybody, to How I Grow a Beard with the Modern Maverick. I'm your protege today. I don't know if I'll ever get to where you are. I don't know. I had to trim it today. I get all patchy, man. You just got the real lumberjack beard, man.
Every morning now for the past week, it's like, do I cut it?
Oh, really? You've reached that stage
I'm
now?
at that stage now.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's been at that stage for a very long time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
167 days today. I count the days.
Happy birthday, beard.
Yeah, and it's really go if you can see in the camera here. Yeah, it's
Yeah, because last week it was our return, but there was no camera, so nobody could see this epic beard you've grown.
So let's introduce. I bought myself 2 cameras, so I'll go split screen. If it works, hopefully it works out. If not, well, it'll just be an audio podcast. But we are recording right now, so hopefully this new video camera works out as long as the battery lasts. It didn't come with an AC adapter, so I'm gonna have to go and buy an AC adapter. I bought it quick. I went to the Sony store. They had a closing sale.
Yeah.
I got it for like dirt cheap, plus 15% off. So I didn't pay taxes.
I may have to go check this out.
Yeah,
The Sony store.
The one in Carrefour Laval is closing. They said the one in downtown. Apparently, there's one downtown. It's not closing.
That one's not closing.
Yeah,
online shopping is killing all these electronic stores. Last year was Best Buy Future Shop. Every time I go there, it's half empty.
Sony hasn't been doing well for a few years now. I used to work for them 10, 12 years ago. I worked at the Sony store in out east, and they've closed all the stores, I think, out east now for a few years. So it's, I think Sony and electronics company, and like you said, online shopping with Amazon selling everything.
Oh, it's crazy when you can order a couple of speakers and not even pay shipping or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's what scared everybody away from buying that kind of stuff online before, I imagine.
The shipping?
The shipping cost,
I think the shipping cost was crazy before.
Yeah, now it's nuts. Like now they got deals. As long as you're spending $50 or $100, you get your free shipping.
I've been doing a lot of online shopping in the last few weeks because I've been at home and stuff and looking. And normally, if you spend like anywhere's over like $100 or $150, it's free shipping.
That's it. If you're buying electronics, you're spending that much for sure. Right?
But there's still, listen, I've seen websites that still charge you like crazy shipping. Like you'll buy a $25 product and they'll charge you $25 shipping.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, well, it depends. Sometimes that's how they balance it out, right?
But
the price
most
is
of
too
the
good to
time-
be true, but because the
Exactly.
pricing on the shipping's jacked.
If I'm paying $25 normally, it's a $50 product.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, so it just ends up being $50, but...
Yeah. Well, in those cases, because you got to wait, and then if there's a problem with it, there's the bitch of returning it via mail.
I ordered that, and I see my new Bob Marley
I
poster.
like the Bob Marley there. The
And
classic pose, the classic picture we've seen a million times.
All posters.
What do you think he's saying? Is he coughing there? You know, that pose, everybody, I don't know.
think he's
you
going,
can't see it. Yeah.
Like James Brown
Hat while
type
he's
thing.
smoking a big-ass fucking doobie.
I think he's just going, God damn, I'm high. I'm high.
You know, I
He's
feel
in the middle
stupid,
saying
eh?
I'm high.
Listening to Bob Marley for a long time since my childhood. And it's not until I saw that documentary that came out. It was
Marley?
last year, Marley, which is very good. And it was really
Very good.
Awesome. And it was like free online, like
Yeah.
right off the bat
It's on
the
Netflix,
website.
I think.
Now it's on Netflix. I had no idea he was half white.
Yeah, his
I
father is like...
I had no idea this whole struggle he went through being
British?
kind of an outcast. Yeah, it was like a British soldier, diplomat, something.
Yeah, a businessman or shipper of some sort that moved to Jamaica. But there are a lot of... Back in the day, Jamaica was... There's a lot of white people that...
Yeah,
used to
well,
live
that's
there or
it. The
something.
colonizing and whatnot. So
Yeah.
he was like in and out and, one of those flings.
The one you saw is the one where like he has his ex-wife, which is also white.
Yeah.
Like, that model or playmate or whatever her name was.
Yeah, I
Was she a
forget her
model?
name, but she was one I was with him till the...
It was weird because she was
end,
white
right?
and she was like totally speaking Jamaican.
Yeah.
With her Jamaican
Yeah,
accent.
yeah. Well, it's like Snow. Remember him?
Infam. Blah, 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 that guy?
That guy was
Wasn't
totally
he
from
Toronto?
Kingston, man.
He was, right?
No, he's from the Kingston side of Toronto, man. Little Jamaica. I have no idea if he's legit. What's his deal? Or if he just starts to sound that way when he starts to rap.
Maybe. He just hangs around with the right crowd. You know?
Yeah, well, I've known guys like that. They've been assimilated completely, hanging out in certain hoods and neighborhoods. And
there's a girl that worked that she does that when she talks to somebody like that's proper French, like either like she'll talk that way.
Oh yeah, I have a buddy like that because his parents were from Marseille. So
And then, no, but she's
from
Quebec.
here. Yeah.
No, she's Greek, but she's
Oh,
from
she's
here.
Greek. She's
Yeah.
not even French. Okay.
So when she talks to somebody from Quebec, like totally Quebecois, là,
yeah.
she speaks like that. But when she speaks to somebody proper French, she switches her language.
Yeah,
and then when she talks to, it's
Classic
the
Parisian
weirdest
French.
thing in the world. And everybody notices
Yeah.
when she's around, because sometimes there's a group of people and then 1 minute she's talking one way, 2 seconds she's talking the other way, and then everybody's just going, why is she like this? But nobody really says anything. I think
No, it's kind of awkward to approach people about things like that.
Why do you do that? You know?
Yeah.
It's a bit insulting, I think, to somebody trying to talk.
Yeah, I don't know. I've caught myself doing it. Like when I go on vacation, you make new buddies or whatever, and you're drinking all day and you're hanging out with these people that you've never met before, and all of a sudden you start talking a bit
Yeah.
like them, and you're using the expressions they've been using all week.
That's okay, because if you
like
for
this
an
intense-
extended part of time, for a
Yeah.
week at least, a few days,
Yeah.
you get assimilated to
I
them.
caught that
That's
at one
fine.
point. I sounded like an Italian dude I met from Italian from Montreal, but you know how we all have our
Yeah,
accents.
yeah, I
Though
get
some people, because my high school was like 80% Italian, I've developed a little bit from time to time when I get into it. I can
80%
also
of the
speak
time.
proper English,
Yeah,
like a proper wasp,
like a D bag.
like a D-bag, yeah.
Yeah,
D-bag. I used to, once we went, speaking of the classic, like American version of the douchebag,
Yeah.
like wanted to go to the military but was too lazy or, missed the bus that day and decided not to go and instead became a bouncer at a bar, went to Plattsburgh Beach, and there was this dude named Brady the bouncer, and he was like the classic douchebag white guy. I'll never forget this dude.
like totally like meathead type.
Total,
guy.
yeah, and just like, hey man, you can't just like think that you can get across here. You can't just like fool Brady. Like I take my job very seriously, dude. It's like,
Yeah, that
you're from
I
Plattsburgh.
can't.
How serious could your bouncing job career
I don't-
be?
I don't really enjoy those type of people or being around those type of people.
No,
Kind of bum me out.
that's why I don't hang out in bars and stuff so much anymore. It's like the other day, last night, watching hockey at a friend's house, and somebody's saying, "Well, what are we gonna do? Anybody going out? What are you talking about? We are out. I'm at somebody's house.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not at home. I'm out. I don't
having
need
a-
to go out and dance all night.
Having a drink and fucking, I'm out. That's it. When's the last time you went out?
I don't know. When was the last birthday? I don't know.
Yeah, that's normally
It's
what
usually,
we do, right?
Yeah, it's you're kind of like designated. Well, no, I went to like Irish embassy a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, but that's a bit different. You sit down, you have food, or even if you
Yeah,
don't
well,
have
that's cool.
food,
And I
it's
like that
more
spot
of
because
a-
they get the live band, and they had a pretty kick-ass band last time. Actually,
Oh, yeah?
I was their band would have been Shom if they had a name. I would have called them Shom because
yeah?
they were playing all the classic songs that you hear on Shom.
So they were all cover.
Yeah,
Songs?
well, it's all cover songs. Yeah, like usually those bands are, but they should have been called Shom. We are Shom.
We Are
because
Shom.
Every song you heard was playing on Shom. at one
Sponsored
point
by
today.
Shom.
Sponsored by Shom.
Yeah.
Produced by Shom.
Talking about sponsors, I don't know if you saw my Facebook message.
I did. Let's get those sponsors.
I'm officially looking for sponsors, and like I mentioned, so if you're out there, small business owners or anything, if you're looking for a small exposure, like I said we don't have thousands of listeners.
No, but
yet.
social media, the web, it
Yeah,
expands,
exactly.
right? You
Very
start
much.
it within.
It's like a ripple, you drop
exactly.
a stone and it just ripples
That's
bigger
it.
and
You
bigger.
drop it on the Facebook mention of
Yeah.
listeners, and then it spreads, and then we're all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for like sign me money over like cash donations, but I'm sure I can find people and we can have an arrangement, an exchange of some sort. Deals here, deals there. Anyway, if there's anybody out there looking to sponsor my podcast, our podcast, give me a shout. I put my message on Facebook, so direct message me on Facebook, or you can send an email to info@modernmaverick.net. That's info @modernmaverick.net. Email me.
Let's
there.
barter like our ancestors and forefathers did.
Yeah. I'm not looking for, it's not to make money. It's just to give somebody a chance that, like I've been there. I've owned a small business, and listen, it's expensive to market your small business.
Yeah, your T-shirts. I liked you. You had some nice designs. I never got that zombie versus Dracula.
No, I gave up on that. It got too expensive, man. The price of cotton like skyrocketed the moment.
Yeah, and a million companies you jumped on that bandwagon. Eh?
I had like.
This is the guy who's wearing an Affliction shirt underneath here.
Oh,
no, this is my Fedor shirt. This is like
that's the logo, the last Emperor.
This is his. Yeah, this is his. Got Fedor.
They still sell Affliction
I
shirts?
don't know. This is years old. My brother got it for me for Christmas. I think I've only worn it a dozen times.
I have a few.
Condition.
Yeah, I have a few that I bought when it was I had the Randy Couture one.
Yeah,
the first one that
Extreme
came out.
Couture.
No, it was.
Oh no, when
Affliction
he was still
one.
Affliction. Yeah,
It was like 2 skulls or some shit, and I paid like $60.
Yeah, it was crazy at one point. Yeah.
That's
and then it got associated with douchebags. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Like, I like tap out hoodies. I've got a couple.
Yeah.
They're comfy. They're nice.
Tap out is not as bad, but like Affliction.
Oh
and
yeah, the
Head Hardy is worse though.
Ed Hardy.
That's
yeah.
the
Well,
total
that's,
douchebag.
Yeah, that was made
How to be
for
a
douchebags.
douchebag.
It has nothing to do with anything but douchebaggery.
I haven't seen any Head Hardy shirts in so long. I think people just went home and burnt them.
Dude, some clubs and bars would ban people from entering with those Ed Hardy T-shirts. Well, I read this particular out west, like in Calgary or something, because people are lame in Calgary. So that's how they form bonds. Hey, dude, that guy's wearing a flashy Ed Hardy shirt with bling on it. Let's hang out and beat on people. And I guess that's what started happening, because there's no more Ed Hardy shirts in here, man. You guys are trouble.
I'm fucking. I can't stop. I can't keep protecting you guys. You keep getting beat up every fucking weekend. No more shirts.
We can't afford any more broken tables.
No more of these fucking shirts in my establishment.
Yes,
that's smart move.
Yeah,
but it kind of died off because I don't remember last time I saw a Head Hardy shirt.
No,
to be honest, I've seen a few Affliction.
But dude,
shirts
it's nice outside. You'll see some douchebag in his Ferrari wearing one soon.
The worst was the Head Hardy baseball cap with the bling on it. Yeah. It weighed like 10 pounds.
Or the Von Dutch one. Remember Von Dutch when everybody had a Von Dutch?
Which is the same
trucker
company.
Cap? Is it?
Yeah, it's all the same. Von Dutch, Head Hardy, and there's a few other ones. It's all the same fucking company. Head Hardy, which is a great tattoo artist, old school tattoo artist.
Oh yeah, that's
Head Hardy is a tattoo artist, and he started selling basically his fucking prints, and then this company said, "Oh, let's make T-shirts. Yeah, that'd be super cool." And then
so that's how
then
I figure it makes sense if I actually did any
and
research.
Yeah,
but I was never.
I don't know.
Never compelled to do so.
So that's it. Anyway, so sponsors. If you're out there looking for a little
we won't be getting
sponsorship-
Ed Hardy.
Yeah. You imagine? Get an email. I got listen to your podcast, and I'd love to sponsor you.
This is Ed. Hi.
I'm broke. I ain't got no more money.
Nobody's buying my T-shirts. You were correct.
And I can't tattoo anybody anymore because they associate me with my fucking douchebag.
Exactly. Then they become permanent douchebags now if they get touched with ink.
So I'm assuming you've been watching a lot of hockey in the last week.
Yeah, the last few days have been pretty awesome. We got some
playoffs.
Overtime, triple overtime, though the Blackhawks lost in triple OT. That sucked.
Like 29 seconds into triple
Yeah,
OT.
that's a bummer, eh? You stick around. I love those late night games during the week, especially me, who's a night owl, and he works late in the afternoon, so we can afford to stay up and watch the Olympics till 6 a.m., like was the case this winter. But triple OT, 37 seconds in, it's over. Damn it.
Because I turned it off. I went to bed, and it was like second OT over. I'm like, I'll turn the TV on in the room. So I go in the bedroom and I lay down, and then I get a notification, and on my phone, I'm like, Steen scores in triple OT. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, the fuck, it just started.
Yeah.
So
I was virtual golfing at that time. We were at some joint that had the hockey games on the screen. It was a pretty cool setup. Played some virtual golf.
In Laval or?
Out in Anjou, Metropolitain. Inside the clubhouse of the golf course.
How was that?
It was all right. It's the first time I ever did this. You know, I've played Tiger Woods, PlayStation Move, but I've never played actual virtual golf. Pretty cool. Yeah. You know, it helps when you get a little licked at the same time.
They sell the pictures and stuff.
Yeah. That was the end of season, so they were out of draft beer.
Out of draft beer
because it was like their last week. So it was bottles and shots.
Bottles are overpriced.
My brother, bottles of beer, not bottles of alcohol.
Yeah,
we're not like, we got a booth at the virtual golf place, and then we drank bottles. We had bottles of Grey Goose.
Grey Goose.
No, I had some
$400 a bottle when you pay $40.
That's it. Yeah, but it's hilarious. My brother goes there so often now that the waitress, the woman who runs the place, barmaid / everything, knows him so well, knows him by name, comes in, we sit down, she's already got 3 shots of Jamie sitting on the table for us.
Damn.
Like, geez, look at this service here.
That's nice.
So, yeah,
It's nice when you go
pretty cool.
You go somewhere that knows your name, right?
Yeah.
So, that's cool. I'm thinking of picking up golf this summer.
You should, man, because we've all become golfers at this point. You and P are the
Mike
only ones out of
and
the loop.
I told Mike last year, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I might buy like a secondhand set and try it. I tried it a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, a few years ago. I was working for Sony actually, so but early 2000s. I bought when a guy I was working with said, I do it. I have an old set of golf. You want it? $100. And I bought it out of his trunk of his car. It had all the clubs, you know, the drivers and everything. I bought it and I started playing, and I went to the driving range, and when I did a few course par 3s and stuff. It was fun. I just didn't have enough time, and so after a while, after like 2 summers of doing it, I maybe played 5 times in a real course, and it was all like it's not like here. I was back out east. It was a small par 3, so I've never really played a real nice looking course.
Yeah, we got some nice ones in Quebec, out of town, not too far, which is cool. You get a lot of golf courses actually within like an hour and a half's drives worth. Because last year, God knows, we went around, did a lot of them.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
but golf is it's a game that you got to commit yourself to. Because if you want to improve, and if you don't, it's just frustrating. Because it can be a very frustrating game. But once you get your groove and you start going on a weekly or
but it's that type of sport where you constantly have to play, because you skip a few weeks, then you're back to like
you lose that swing, the mechanics, the whatever because you're tweaking your game every shot. Every time you make a good shot, you go, oh, I did that time, so let me try to do that again.
Yeah.
And then if it works every other time, you start getting frustrated. But you got to keep practicing it. If you go those 2-3 weeks without doing it, then you're fucked.
That's the thing with me. And like I'm so busy with other shit, I can go 2 or 3 weeks, and then after that, you're like I just get frustrated. And just, it's a good excuse to drink. People,
it's man, it's nice
because every time I've played golf, it's like it's 8 a.m. or you want a beer? I'm like,
it's golf.
Right, no problem. You're on the golf course.
You light one up, you're cracking one open, and you go driving along through the wooded path.
Fucking lit up by 11. I'm like, fuck, I haven't had lunch. I barely had breakfast. Empty stomach.
Oh, they got some great courses where you out in Saint Jerome, or if you go out to even to Tremblant, I mean, there you're getting some really pristine courses, but you get some nice views. Some holes you're up on the mountains, and you turn around, you're like, damn. This is pretty serene right now, especially if it's an early in the morning where there's not many people out yet.
I have to do it. I'll do it. I'll see how it goes this summer. I might buy a course. I think Mike is opening up his course this weekend.
Yeah, well, they had the driving range already open there out in Nuns Island.
Yeah, so I think Lisa told me that they were opening. He'd probably be opening. It's a nice weekend. It's nice out there. It's a bit cold, but
today's pretty nice. Yesterday was chilly, but but today's looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
This fucking weather is like Jekyll and Hyde. It's fucking crazy.
23 was, what was it, 23, 24 on Monday, and then it was down to like minus
15?
Something like that overnight on Tuesday. It was crazy.
There was snow on Wednesday, and I woke up to
thank God that didn't last.
Like I went out to play baseball with my son. I was at Tuesday, and then the next day it was like you gotta put your winter jacket. I'm like, the fuck, it's super cold. And we were out at 5 o'clock at night, and no coat, just a t-shirt, and it was fucking like, I don't know, like 12, 13 degrees, even more. We were playing outside, and he's sweating and shit, and it was nice. And then the next day it was like, what the fuck? Even at night, that night it started getting cold. I went out a bit late, and it was like, what the fuck? It's almost like 0 degrees already.
Yeah, it was insane, but it was good. Some nice weather. It permitted me to finally finish working on my car, and my amp got that set up.
You finally got it set
J'ai
up?
de la bass, le gros. J'ai de la bass dans le trunk.
Like that?
Yeah, sort of. But it's
more, it works?
Yeah, man, it sounds pretty good. I gotta say, I gotta turn that shit low. I wasn't expecting it to be like window rattling, but it fucking can.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, but I don't, because then you look like a douchebag. Going back to our douchebag conversation from earlier.
Where you're driving and like...
Yeah.
No vocals, like... Yeah,
that's all you hear. And you hear the rattling. Everything's rattling.
Every time I have a good song on, I fucking blast it. I just have a shitty... But still, I like blast the volume, and I'm like...
it feels good.
Driving,
Let's get that bass. Fuck you. If you want one installed there, I'm going to start my own little side business. That, and I might open a meth lab. I was thinking, I'm an expert at Breaking Bad at this point. I've seen them all. We've talked about it so much. Message boards and whatnot, trivia. Bring it on. So I'm going to open up my own lab, because I didn't get that job there that I applied for that I talked about last week. It's all right. So meth lab, car sub installation, whatever I can do and make some money.
In what?
Sponsors, you can just send money directly to us.
Cash in an envelope?
Cash, we'll take that too.
Yeah, for sure. Meth lab / sub installation.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Audio, car audio.
Yeah, we'll do it all out of the same location too.
Car audio on top and then underground. You have your
Underground meth lab.
Right?
Yeah,
It's a good idea. If you're looking for a partner, I'll quit my job for that.
You quit your job for that. I can't promise you
$5,000
long-term
up front.
success,
Yeah.
but and maybe short-term excitement at the very least.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to get your
Long-term
blood pumping.
incarceration, maybe.
Well, that's the long-term possibility. Sure. If we get into the nitty-gritty details of it all, but that's why I'll have fine print on the contract.
Is meth a popular drug in Montreal?
I don't know. I've never met anybody who's like, "Hey, you want to do some meth?" Thank God, because I've been around some shady people over the years.
But meth really fucks you up, man. It's
You become those poster children for like YouTube comparison videos where before and after.
you're like a tweaker. Like it's like you can get a scratch like that. Scratch
you get all the
yourself.
scars. Like that chick who was the sister in that 70s show, right? Remember Topher Grace's older sister? She's like destroyed herself with like meth addiction.
The real person, you mean? The actress?
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know what the fuck her name was, but
Let's look it up.
look her up. Just that 70s show crack whore. I'm sure that.
Really?
I that's how you Google stuff. If people, by the way, if ever you're having trouble Googling something, don't be afraid to make it as simple and
I ask questions.
and
Google
direct.
questions
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
question marks help a lot because they'll take you to like message boards. But yeah, just like that 70s show meth head, and you'll get it. I'm sure.
That 70s show crackhead. That's what it. Holy shit!
Yeah.
You see the pictures that showed up.
It looks bad, and I'm pretty certain it was meth. Pretty sure. Might have been crack too, or both, or one or the other.
Oh my god, she looks old.
Yeah.
It fucking makes you old as fuck. They have this thing called meth mouth too. It fucks up your teeth and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Your
it's
teeth rot and
actually
shit. No.
meth mouth is actually a fucking thing.
It's a thing.
It's like it's not just an expression like, oh, look at you fucker, you get a meth
No,
mouth.
the doctor
It's
says
like,
you've got meth mouth.
yeah, it's like you smoke meth. Like she is. Where did she get caught? Ashton. Wow, what the fuck? Portrayed, arrested. No, that was spousal abuse. Still, she looks like garbage.
Oh, my mouth is dry. I have to get a beverage.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to just run to get some water.
By the way, if anybody wants to know her name is Lisa Robin Kelly. So you can look her up.
Lisa Robin Kelly.
You can grab a beer in the fridge if you want.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. Bring me one too. Yeah, she looks bad. She is, for those who don't know who I'm talking about, that 70s show, she was the slut sister. That, wow. She really doesn't look really good.
No, to say the least.
I've always had an issue with
Crackhead?
it seems that it seems that actors in particular, I know music people, especially rock stars and stuff,
It's always a good
right
sound
in the
effect.
mic.
It's a great sound effect. And you got to
I get the rock stars, but
just
nowadays,
like that.
huh?
Well, I'm sorry. That's an ode to my favorite podcasters, Jay and Dan from.
They don't
formerly
podcast
TUF.
anymore.
They've been on hiatus, but they promised that they're not done. They've just been working on something special, apparently. But yeah, I'm jonesing. It's been like a while. Like they took a break before the Olympics, and they haven't been back.
Yeah, it's been a long time since their last podcast.
Yeah, makes me sad because I used to look forward to listening to that. It was a nice podcast.
Put-
But they'll be
podcast.
back.
A nice
Podcast.
podcast. But they still do the Fox Sport 1 show. Do
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they do their weekly highlight thing, or nightly, I should say.
I don't have the I don't listen to. I don't think I have that show. I think it's only.
Yeah, I don't know if you
America.
can
It's
get
Fox
it here.
Sports 1.
I don't know if you. I think you have to get it like Rogers cable or
There's
something.
UFC on
probably.
Fox, by the way, tonight.
Yes, that's true. That's
Brown
versus Verdum. Finally, Verdum. What the fuck, man? Why does this guy fight
been a
every
while.
other year?
And he always demolishes his opponent. Like
He was number one contender for the longest freaking time, and
he came into the UFC.
it's been so long that he was gonna go on Ultimate Fighter Brazil to be number one contender with Nogueira, and Nogueira is far from title contention now. Just to say, it's been
got
that
knocked the fuck
freaking
out
long.
last week.
And then he beat and then he beat Roy Nelson, and he hasn't fought since. Is that it?
Who did he beat when he came back though? He demolished. Was it Roy Nelson?
He demolished Roy Nelson over 5 rounds, and he beat. What's
because
his name?
Verdum was in the UFC,
beat
then they cut him, and then he went.
Yeah,
to
after he got
fight
knocked out
for-
by freaking Dos Santos.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Dos
that's true.
Santos' debut, no? He got knocked out Verdum, who looked a little flabby in that fight. And they threw him to the curb. Then he signed over in Strikeforce.
Strikeforce.
Beat fucking Fedor.
Yeah, he beat Fedor.
Yeah.
True that. They say the winner of this fight tonight is going to be the next to face Kane,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to mix it up a bit. Eh?
which
he beat Mike Russo as well. Remember him?
Yeah, the cop from Chicago.
Yeah.
The guy that fucking got demolished by Todd Duffy for 3 rounds, and then with like 15
And then he
seconds
went with the
left, he,
hammer
like,
fist of doom.
just threw this like shitty,
And then he came down
and then he, and he's like, I don't know, I can't believe I fucking knocked you out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Mark, oh my god,
and he has, and yeah,
he beat
Poor
Roy
Russell.
Nelson, he beat Russell, and then he beat Nogueira.
that's it.
Oh yeah, he submitted Nogueira.
That's it. That's been since it's been a year.
June almost, yeah, June last year.
And before that, he fought June 2012. It's crazy.
Did he
only
get
had 2
injured?
fights. No, not
Well,
even.
I think-
I think he had a small setback injury wise, but that's not what's been holding him back, as far as I know.
It was also weird that he got cut after only 1 loss in the UFC.
Yeah, Dana was a bitch about that loss.
Like, you lose to De Santos in UFC 190, and the only other loss he had in the UFC was his first fight against Arlovsky.
Yeah, but I think at that point they had no idea what Dos Santos was capable of. Had they known, had Dos Santos already beat a couple of guys, I don't think it would have led to Verdum getting fired. But at that point, Dos Santos was just some UFC rookie.
He was. And Dos Santos, I don't know. I've never been sold on the guy. I mean, the guy hits hard. He's a real good striker, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've been disappointed after all this talk where, he's got this great ground game, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And then when we saw it, it wasn't very good.
Nobody, like, what,
Oh,
you
Kane
can't stuff a takedown.
Kane was able to beat him around there.
Yeah, you're good on the ground jiu-jitsu wise.
Yeah, but he didn't-
wrestling wise, you can't control shit.
and that's
Okay,
it.
so
And
you can go for
that's it. Did we
submit,
see
yeah.
much of the jiu-jitsu out of him? Not really.
A lot of guys are like that. They're like, I can't believe. Wait till he goes to the ground. It's like Aldo.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says Aldo is better on the ground than he is striking. But
Well,
then
that I might believe
he is good.
because he's fucking good.
He is good, but he's jiu-jitsu wise good. Wrestling wise,
Mind you, his takedown defense is pretty ridiculous.
It is
So
now.
I could
It is now,
maybe
yeah.
believe that he's a pretty good grappler wrestling wise, maybe.
like if like Dos Santos, he just needs, I think, to like expand his. He goes for the knockout right away.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it last
Yeah,
Kane
he's-
fight. He almost knocked him out again in the first. And then after that, when
That's it. If it doesn't happen,
if it
yeah.
happens, he goes for it all the time. You know, it's he's typical. And I see a lot of guys, even nowadays. 10 years ago in the UFC when it's a little bit more one dimensional, I get it. You can knock people out. Chuck Liddell knocked people out every fucking fight. But nowadays, man, you got to be a little bit more. Like, if all you got is your right hand,
Yeah.
like, great example, Bisping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bisping is a great all-around fighter, especially now. His ground game, his wrestling is way gotten better. But he fought in the week, and on the week, that's Wednesday.
Last week he lost to
Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy.
I watched the fight, and
Wasn't that exciting from what I heard?
it was really boring.
Yeah.
Kennedy did the job. He took him down.
a lot of dry humping.
He took him down, and he dominated him on the ground. I don't care if it was dry humping most of the time. He did do some damage.
Did some slow grind to those
Even on the
90s R&B hits.
even in striking,
Yeah.
he landed some big shots. And Bisping, I was impressed by Bisping because he ate some shot that like I thought would have put him out, considering he got knocked out by Endo big time, and then he got knocked out by Belfort
Yeah.
and TKO'd mostly. I wouldn't call that a knockout, but still.
No.
But he caught Kennedy. Either Kennedy doesn't hit hard, he doesn't know how to hit, but he connected on a lot of shots, overhand rights.
Well, Kennedy's never been known to be a heavy hitter, more of a wrestler, more of a grappler.
I don't understand
But again,
why-
another one of those that's kind of all round, but not dominant in any. That's the thing with Bisping. He's great overall,
Yeah.
all around, but he's not really dominant in any one
No.
aspect that could. So that's why he'll beat all those middle guys. But once he's fighting the elite, and usually the elite
Yeah.
do have at least one or two really strong points as far as their game's concerned, and that's where he's.
Do you know he hasn't beaten any current UFC anybody on the current UFC roster?
on
Everybody
the current roster? Really? There's nobody left.
Everybody he's beaten
I can say he's
has-
beaten them all into
have
retirement
have
or
been cut or retired.
there you go. That's something you can put on his gravestone.
That's fucked up because this guy is always like one shot away from a title
Yeah.
shot. Dude, he's 2-3 now in his last 5 fights.
Yeah.
He can't win the big fights.
No, I've never been.
He's one of those gatekeepers.
Yep.
Where you give him a fight, and I mean, it's sad because at one point he was. I think it wasn't really. Oh my God, he's so talented. I think from one fight to a certain point in his career, he went from so to like, oh my God, now he's really, his wrestling is there, his takedowns. I remember, and that was the Dennis Kang fight. Remember the Dennis Kang fight?
Yeah.
Dennis Kang, I was expecting Kang to like fucking run him over, and all of a sudden he starts wrestling. He fucking wrestled him into a TKO in the third round, and it was like, wow, you know, like that was impressive. That to me proved that he worked hard in the gym for his wrestling, and he kept it up ever since. But who have you beaten? Belcher with a one bum eye that barely can see.
Yeah,
you know?
and Belcher was another guy that they really tried to hype, and you know, as soon as he got close too.
Worst tattoo in the MMA.
Oh,
His
fuck.
Johnny Cash tattoo.
Fat Johnny Cash.
Whoever tattooed that on his arm should be fucking ashamed. It's horrible.
Maybe it's like Johnny Cash doing a Marlon Brando impression. The big
It's
lip.
too much hair, not enough face. It's like
A lot of cheek.
it's just horrible, and it's like the whole bicep.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole, like if
I
you're
want
gonna get
Johnny,
a
and I want him
fucking
big.
and don't get color, get like a black and white portrait of Johnny.
Yeah.
Don't get like black hair and fucking like
Skin
beige
colored
on beige.
tattoo,
Like,
yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
What are you
It's
doing?
horrible.
What are you doing?
I got a
Getting
new
skin
tattoo.
tone.
See,
I did. I like.
little rooster head,
Fuck, they're awesome that first weekend when they're nice and dark and
nice and black. Yeah?
Oh, fuck.
Then they crusty and they get crusty and then they fall
fade a
out.
bit. And then you're like, this was supposed to be black. Why does it look blue?
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, especially me. I got pale skin, So that's what happens with mine a bit.
My hand tattoo is still fucking peeling. I need some touch-ups, but man, fuck it. But yeah, I'm done for now. I told her, I said...
Yeah, you took a break there? You're taking a
well,
break?
I don't like getting tattooed in the summertime because then you have to take a couple of weeks out. I can't go to the pool. My son loves going into the pool, and it's like, I can't go in the pool.
Well, you still got a little while before pool season's open.
Yeah, so I'm done for now.
Yeah.
I got the rest. I'm going to finish the rest of my arm. And I told you I'll come and see you in September. And then there's a convention in Montreal that I would love to get tattooed at the convention.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to go to the tattoo convention. I'll check that out with you.
You've never been? I went 2 years ago for
Never
the
been.
first time. It was the first time I've been to a tattoo convention. I went one Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
I just walked around for 3 hours.
Let's do that. We could do like a report for our podcast.
Yeah.
We could like do some recording
It's
on
awesome.
site.
You see a lot of
We
people.
could interview some people.
That would be awesome. I could probably maybe email some. Because I follow. It's organized by Studio Tattoo Mania here in Montreal. They organize it, and on their Instagram they send they post all the people that are coming.
Okay.
So and most of them have an Instagram account. A lot of tattoo artists now they use Instagram as their portfolio. I've been to a few tattoo shops in the past few weeks, and like, do you have a portfolio? And they're like, not updated ones. It's internet, you know.
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna print pictures and
There's these days, I don't know, books and pictures and paper and stuff. It's all the way the dinosaur.
fuck? I went to
going the
Walmart.
way.
I went to Walmart last week. The week before, my girlfriend wanted some pictures printed, and it's totally different now. You can connect with. You have to download the app. You have to download an app, the Walmart app, the photo app. You download it, then you connect to this Wi-Fi network in Walmart, and then it links the pictures to the thing, and then you print them.
Oh, wow.
Directly. It's super easy, and it's nice. And before you had to like bring like an SD card, or you had to plug your phone, and half the places didn't have the iPhone 5 plug. It was only the iPhone 4, and you'd be like, what the fuck? So now it's all done wirelessly, and then it prints it out.
I didn't even know you could go and just plug in your phone. Like last time I printed pictures, it was on like I put them on a CD.
Yeah, and then you brought them to a place, and then they print them.
Yeah, that was a
It
long time ago.
took 30 minutes. I did 50 some prints for like $15.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cheap too. Huh.
I mean, but
Well, you got kids and stuff. That's why you're the demo. You're in that demographic, that Hallmark and Polaroid and Kodak. You know, they're like, thank fucking God, people are still printing shit and pictures and cards.
it's
and
gonna
stuff.
go on 10 years, 5
Because
years.
people
it's
like
gonna be
me,
out of it.
God knows, I don't print many pictures or feel the need.
I wouldn't either, but my
develop them.
girlfriend wanted to put pictures on the walls and stuff. You
Of
gotta
course.
decorate, you know.
Yeah. You know, you can't just have like Bob Marley posters everywhere.
I would.
You.
I gotta order some more posters here. I don't know what I'm gonna order. Maybe I got some Muhammad Ali there. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I like them. You should get like a classic UFC poster.
I tried looking for them, man. You can't find them anywhere.
Really? Have
like,
you checked out like allposters.com?
Yeah, they don't have. They have like they have the cutouts of like Chuck Liddell and DJ Penn.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
But really, you can't get like the versus,
They'll have
you know,
posters.
like the UFC 92.
Yeah, but they'll have recent.
Or get like an
recent
old
ones.
school one, like the medieval, the dark ages of UFC. You know,
I
like
want,
UFC
like-
15 and a half, when worlds collide. You know, when they gave corny fucking
I
titles
wanted
to
a
all of them.
UFC 1 or UFC 2 poster. Like
Yeah.
that, I would put. That would be fucking awesome. Or even the old ones, but they don't have.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find it for you.
You just have to find a picture and then have somebody with an awesome printer and just print it.
Yeah, that too.
You know, you can print them like this size here, like on this frame, and then
Yeah.
just have the same frame and then have like a bunch of them.
Yeah,
side
well,
by
they
side.
got places that you can do that. Yeah. We'll work that out.
So I wanted to talk about something. Have you ever heard of patent trolls?
Nope. What's that?
I heard about this week. I was listening to a podcast, and they had a guest on, and apparently, it's only affecting the United States right now. But you know who Adam Carolla is?
Yeah.
Adam Carolla is just basically the godfather of podcasts. I think he was one of the first big names to do podcasts.
Yeah, after the
Him
Man
and
Show.
Joe
Yeah, because
Rogan,
Jimmy Kimmel got his own show and got big after the Man Show, and yeah,
Because I know
Carolla
Joe
kinda
Rogan
disappeared,
said
but
that
yeah,
it was because of
podcasting.
him he started podcasting
Yeah.
and stuff. And he's pretty good. He's got his own podcast. It's pretty big. It's pretty nice, you know. And he's being sued right now by these patent trolls. And basically, I don't understand. You can Google it. I've Googled it. I've got some stuff, but patent trolls. He's actually being sued for I don't know how many millions of dollars. $1.5 million, I think. And it's basically people that buy out patents from companies that either went bankrupt and stuff. And it's basically they buy out software patents.
Okay.
So patents that have been on software and stuff. And he's basically being sued for podcasting. So it would not only affect him, but it would affect everybody that podcasts. He doesn't even understand it. Like he has a video. If you go to, if you Google,
I'm looking at headlines right now here. I think I see a good one here. Patent troll says it owns podcasting. Owns podcasting.
If you Google patent troll Adam Carolla,
Let's see what this is.
he has a fundanything.com account where he's looking for funding. He's up to like $300,000 where people get for his legal defense.
Okay.
And he has a video that it kind of explains it. There's a few videos down that like somebody else posted a video in the comments, I think, and it basically explains it. So basically, it's a company or people with money. They buy out patents from bankrupt companies, so for dirt cheap, and then they take those patents and then they go and attack people that have basically infringe upon those patents, which is really stupid because it's like a software patent or it's something stupid. Like,
so this is a cash grab in like its worst fucking form here.
apparently it's these people have been doing this for a while and they're doing it really good.
These are leeches.
They, most of the time it doesn't get to court. They settle for thousands and millions of dollars. So it works. It's like people. Imagine if you're like somebody that just woke up one day and said, "I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna do this because I know that I can bring somebody to court and they're just gonna settle. I'm gonna make $500,000.
Yeah.
Instead of them paying 1.5 million, which I'm suing. I'll sue you for 1.5, but you'll give me 200,000 out of court just for it to go away." And then I'm like, okay, so then I'm gonna go down the list. Who else can I fucking sue for the same thing?
Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous thing.
I don't like this. I don't like these fucking trolls.
Yeah, so it's called Patent Trolls. So people, if you want to know a little bit more about it, I'll read up a bit more. Maybe we'll talk about it in another podcast because it's a bit complicated. It's a bit, so I don't really understand it correctly. There's a
lot of
that,
lingo and stuff here.
So
A lot of,
anyway, I thought you might have heard about it.
No, I've, like you say, NHL playoffs started. I'm usually a news guy, and I haven't been following up. It's just been hockey.
That's crazy. There's not much in the
and
news
apartment hunting. I'm still fucking hunting for an apartment.
What happened to the apartment you?
I didn't like it.
No.
No, I was on a. I didn't like the neighborhood. Didn't like the street. Didn't like the fact that neighbors I like a nice private balcony or somewhat.
Yeah.
Even if it's not private, at least where I can feel like I'm in my own bubble. If I've got two walls on both sides. But I wasn't crazy about it. So we're still looking. Visited a couple of places yesterday.
You got till July though.
Yeah, hopefully we find one soon though. Fuck, man, we were looking in the city like Plateauville, right? Fuck, they got some overpriced. Well, not so much overpriced, but just ghetto fucking interiors. Would have been nice if I was a 20-year-old student still. Yeah. But at this age, that's not what I'm looking for.
God damn, man. I'm so lucky we found this place because we were looking and I was like getting nervous. I was like, holy fuck there. it's like you view 100 apartments, and out of those 100, there's really one or two that are like, oh, okay, I can go visit those ones. And then out of those ones, you're like, they're all shitty. Because sometimes they'll post pictures and then you show up and you're like, God,
which was the case for one. We had perfect location. It was on Clark, just north of Mount Royal. We're like, fucking great location. 6.5, 5.5 pictures look good. We get there. Oh my God, it was fucking
horrible, huh? People live, man, the way people live. I just don't
like
understand
balconies
it.
that, like, if I step out here for a smoke, am I going to worry about it fucking caving and me dropping to my death?
Bathrooms, kitchens.
Oh, some horrible bathrooms.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. So maybe I'm trying to convince him to start looking around in this area in Ville-Saint-Laurent, because here we can find something more decent looking. That's for sure.
Either on the other end, close to the 15, and then just look this way.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that far, right? It was on the other side of the 15.
Yeah. It
More
would have
like
been
towards
more.
like,
It was Christophe Colomb.
Oh, okay, all the way now.
So that's why it's Christophe Colomb and Louvain, which is like just before Fleury. So you're starting to get a little east and a little north. And especially like Christophe Colomb, it's not a street that has dépanneurs and grocery stores on it, right? It's just like basically you got Claude Robillard, the sports center, and you got apartments and condos.
Yeah.
So like your closest dépanneur, you got to
go
drive or take a long walk.
That's what I love about this area. I have a dépanneur right here. They sell beer. They sell basically I go to the dépanneur to buy beer.
Oh, these little things. Well, yeah, but little things. Well, especially I'm a smoker. I run out of a pack of smokes,
you
or
gotta go
you're
smoke.
a single guy. I need a fucking thing of milk or whatever because
Yeah.
I'm cooking, and you don't want to have to get into the car to get that
No.
shit all the time.
There's a Pharmaprix not far, and Drunk
Pharmacy's
2
home.
not far, SIQ not far.
That's another bonus. Need that SAQ close by.
Fuck, man. You
Shit.
have to. Like it's shitty when you have to get into your car and drive 10 minutes to go get a thing of milk.
Yeah.
When I go down,
unless I'm
3
living in the
minutes.
freaking country where I've got my peace and serenity, my own lot of
That's
land,
okay.
there I'll pay
That's
the
a good
price.
shit. But you'd have milk for at least a week.
Yeah, because you've got cows in the back.
You just go milk.
You just knock at your neighbors out. Hey, can I have some fresh eggs from your chicken?
Oh my God, man, it's crazy. I wanted to talk about something we talked about. Did you watch the Ultimate Fighter finale?
No, I did not. I was watching the game 1 of the Habs and Lightning that night, actually.
Cote fought.
Cote fought Kyle Noak.
No. as a
Yeah, I
co-main
don't know.
event.
Like the two coaches you could least care about in the history of the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Cote won.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's fighting at middleweight now?
170.
Or he's down to 170 now. He's dropped down to 170.
Yeah, he's been.
Oh, it's true, yeah, because he fought. I thought he was fighting at 205, but he fought Anderson.
He was fighting 205.
He did fight Anderson at 185 pounds a while back.
He used to fight at 205.
And now he's
came in the
dropped-
UFC at 185, and then he dropped to
and now
170.
he's down to 170.
Okay, so
Not a very. What kind of fight was it?
it was boring.
Boring. See, isn't that like
Cote got
used to describe
caught.
way too many fights these days?
He got caught, but he recovered, and that's about it. He used his wrestling. It was the same. He humped him.
Yeah.
He didn't hump him. He dominated. Had some elbows. It reminded me of GSP.
Yeah.
He stayed in the
So
guard.
just working.
Stayed in the guard and worked from the guard. Landed
Yeah.
some elbows. Landed some strikes. That was it. That was it. And if he could get the takedown, I'm like, every fucking fighter lately is going to their safe spot.
Yeah.
It's like fucking. But I'm like, is he a contender or not? He's won 3 in a row now at 170.
Yeah, but, he hasn't
But I'm
fought
like, who has he
anybody
fought?
significant.
You know?
Fuck is
Why,
Kyle
but
Noak?
why would you make those fights?
Is Kyle Noak even top 20?
No, top 50. I don't think so.
Come on.
But why? It's bad matchmaking, in my opinion, especially with everybody in the UFC now. So many people in the roster.
Yeah.
Why keep making these fights that have no title or contendership?
This was just to appeal to the
implementation?
markets and do the whole Canada versus Australia thing. Now I've heard
Yes.
that they may do just an all-Canadian Ultimate Fighter. They've realized, and they're really milking this Canadian cow right now the last few years.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
a
they're
lot of
doing
talent, though.
No, but the market, as far as the money that Canadians are spending on UFC,
Yeah.
whether it's the products, whether it's going to see the shows live. I mean, they're doing a lot of the bigger shows in Canada. They know
Yeah.
they're going to get sellouts. They know they're going to be able to charge what they want to charge for tickets.
True, but there's another thing too. It's the fact that I think a lot of Americans now I think they're starting to it plateaued.
Oh yeah, definitely. It plateaued at UFC 100, and since then it's.
I think that they got Fox and everybody thought it was going to go wow, and now I think it just plateaued and now it's starting to trickle down. I personally, a huge MMA UFC fan, I am not into MMA UFC, and I train.
Yeah.
And I am not into. I used to watch a live event from beginning to end and tweet the whole fights.
Yeah.
Spend my night on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
I don't do that anymore.
No.
I don't have no interest. Because half the fights are like fuck. The most entertaining fight was the Dustin Poirier, Karasani fight. I think it was his name, which it ended up in the TKO in second round. But it was still the first round was worth any other fight on the card. You know.
Yeah.
A bunch of decisions and stuff. Listen, I get it's MMA. It's whatever happens, but man.
No, it's the oversaturation of the market as far as people just like, okay, enough with all the shows. And it's all these guys that are fighting on cards that you've never heard of. And yeah, some of them are great up and comers, but then you've got them mixed up with these other fights that just, okay, so you've got this guy fighting somebody, and what are the consequences of this fight? Not really anything, because there's 5 other guys ahead of them anyway.
The fucking first fight on the card, the Ultimate Fighter, was Mitch Gagnon, which is a guy from Ontario.
Yeah.
He's won his last 2 fights, and he was the first fight on the prelim.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's won 2 fights. Normally, the first fight on the prelim is either newcomers or guys that are on the losing streak.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, you're prelim. You're not getting paid as much money. And this guy won, I think, his last 2 fights, and now he won again, and now he was the first prelim fight. Not to mention the fact that they were in Quebec City, and apparently the attendance was here. I have the attendance here. Just over 5,000.
What?
There was 5,029 people.
That's all they did it at the Colisée?
Pepsi Colisée, whatever.
And they only got 5,000 people?
And they had 15,000 seats. And only 5,000 showed up.
Wow. Okay.
The city,
That's horrible.
The sick thing was that the gate was 340,000. Which is not the worst gate in the Ultimate Fighter finale shows.
To say how much they were overcharging.
My most probably, and the reason why I looked it up is because I was on Twitter watching the fights, and I was just following on Twitter, and there's a few people that started saying there's about only 1,200 people in the crowd. I'm like, that's impossible.
Holy
shit!
It's
like 1,200 people, really? And so I was like, is there really? I started asking around, and then the next day I went on I started doing a bit of research, and I know there was 5,029 people. Now, how true is that? Because I'll be honest, it was the weirdest thing.
Maybe to include all the fighters and staff.
They would pan. Well, you know what? They would pan outside of the cage, and it was all the guys that fought in the prelims that were sitting there.
Really?
I saw guys that I knew that fought in the prelim, guys from Quebec.
So just people just weren't interested in spending $500 or $1,000 for fucking ringside seats.
They would pan in the crowd, and it was all dark.
They black off the top,
and not just the top. If you saw a glimpse of light, you would see holes, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing.
That's sad.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't think Quebec City's gonna get any other show. It was a weird thing, Quebec. Why not just do it in Montreal?
Yeah, well, they did from what?
And it was a Wednesday night
from Quebec City. And they've been talking. I don't know. They've been talking about doing a show there for a long time. But yeah, timing was wrong too. It was the first game of the playoffs. True. It was the first night of the playoffs, right? It was Wednesday. Yeah.
The Habs were playing.
I mean, just anybody, even if Quebec City's not filled with Habs fans, they're watching hockey.
Yeah, it's hockey.
It's the playoffs.
You're in Canada. You're in Quebec.
Yeah.
There's gonna be hockey.
Yeah,
so
not
really
very smart. Yeah.
So these things kind of bum me out when I watch MMA. You know, they oversaturate the market, and it's not all it's supposed to be. You know, so
for shame.
So what else? I saw something pretty sad last week. Well, actually, I heard about it a few weeks ago, and I spoke about it. Actually, I mentioned it. I was having a conversation with my tattoo artist when she was tattooing, because she's from the States. She's from California, so she knows a lot about the States and people from the States and New York area. She travels a lot to New York area and stuff like that. And I heard, have you heard of Camden, New Jersey?
Camden,
place?
yeah.
It's like one of the it's like the Stockton.
Yeah, I drove through Camden by accident. Yeah.
By accident?
Yeah. Thank God. Everyone else fell asleep, and I turned off the highway in the wrong exit. Next thing I know, I'm driving through a neighborhood.
One of the most dangerous places in the States now.
Yeah.
And they apparently went bankrupt.
Okay.
The city, or they ran out of money or something. So bad that they can't afford a police force anymore.
Holy shit.
They don't really have a police force paid.
Yeah.
So
it's like volunteers.
So the government runs some sort of police force. And crime went up like crazy. Like robberies were up like 62%. The average rate of crime is 12% over the national average or something like that. It's considered one of the most dangerous thing. And the thing that shocked me about this is It's because the technology they're using to fight crime. And I'll read you something about it, because I Googled it and I was like interested because I heard about it. I heard somebody talk about it and I was like, this is here it is here. Camden, Camden, New Jersey. Just the pictures I see of it. It's if you Google Camden, New Jersey, crime. Fuck. Here we go. Anyway, I can't really find the thing now, but they have like they've put video cameras all around the city apparently.
Okay.
And microphones, and they have this big crane which they put I don't know, video cameras or anything. This technology they hoist it up and they could cover about a 6 block radius.
Okay.
And they basically can hear any gunshot or any conversation, and it just by triangulating the sound or the noise, they know by like a few meters where it came from, what time. Like that's the technology there. It's basically being governed. It's like the article I read called it like minority reporting.
Okay.
Which they can basically use the technology to like. They'll take a picture of your license plate, and if it's you and your mom's car that was at the corner here, they can actually assess that you were there buying drugs because you were in this neighborhood at this time. So they'll send a letter to your mom, which is because your car is registered under your mom's, and it's saying that the car was being used for crime at this spot and this time and stuff like that.
Wow.
So they're being governed basically. It's like a police state basically. The crime is so high, and
holy shit!
I can't really find the thing, but. I was quite shocked by the fact that we're at that point where this can happen, where they don't need anything, and this is kind of like a test. I'm assuming they use this city as let's use a shitty place that has no income, which nobody works basically. The crime rate is off the roof, and let's try this technology. So basically, they can follow everybody in that area. Yeah, that you're in the system or not in the system. They know they can hear voice and conversations through walls and through everything at the corner of the street and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, that's kind of technology and this approach to avoiding or being proactive to crime, I guess.
Exactly.
It doesn't surprise me at all. And of course, like you say, I mean, pick the poorest, pick one of the most dangerous and most crime-filled cities. Let's test it out and see how this works. And then. Yeah, you can imagine a future. You watch movies like Judge Dredd and RoboCop and whatnot, where it's just everything is like you're keeping a visual and. But is it really where everybody.
We're going? Where the crime rate? Because I'm assuming crime rate is really. It's not going down.
No, it depends. I mean, in New York City, it went down. It went down drastically over the last decade or so. I mean, they were able to clean up that city a lot.
True.
I mean, surveillance technology works it's very big in England and London. I mean, there's CCTV cameras everywhere, keeping track of everybody. And that's, the conspiracy theorists and whatnot, we'll worry about that Big Brother's got his eye on you. And of course, it's got its big disadvantages as far as, where do your rights...
Me, I don't have anything to hide, so I'm not really worried about that.
If you don't have anything to hide, then you shouldn't have to worry. But even then, at a certain point, it's just where your rights being violated at a certain point,
If you want to keep... Because everybody's been saying that you can...
dance along that line.
They can activate your fucking camera on your computer at any time.
Mm-hmm. But it's easy to justify that kind of stuff in the most crime-ridden, poorest city in the States, right? It's
I guess that's why they're using that.
It's easy to say, well, listen, it's the city's going bankrupt. We can barely afford a police force. This is allowing us to keep our eyes on more people with less resources. And, I mean, who's really going to complain? Who's going to stand up for Camden, New Jersey?
I guess,
right?
Yeah, if it's putting criminals in...
do that in Beverly Hills or Malibu and people say, hey, what the fuck? Get your eyes off of me.
Yeah.
But if you Camden, New Jersey, I don't care. It's neither here nor there, right?
But it just proves that technology is there now, and it's possible. Oh. It's possible to not hide and not be able to hide from anybody or for anything.
Remember that movie Enemy of the State with
I was
Will
thinking
Smith?
about that, yeah.
I mean, that movie's, 15 years old or so?
It was.
And
it wasn't shot in the future either.
No, but at the time, it was like, holy shit, Like,
can
okay, that's like really exaggerated now. It's like, it's exactly what's going on. I mean, they've been there for a long time doing that shit.
They can see anybody anywhere at any time. They can record any conversation. And especially now with the cell phones and smartphones and laptops and this and that, they can just tap in, you know, and with Apple being everywhere now, you know, government probably owns a shit.
Well, it's like the whole Edward Snowden and, you know, all your information being sold, right? Government and getting their hands on your information through companies like Yahoo or whoever it was that they were was accused of selling the information.
Google, wasn't it? Google?
Was it Google or Google?
I think it was
all
Google.
It's all the same to me. It's just the same 3-headed, 6-headed
It's retarded
monster.
that, you know, a company such as Google, Yahoo, whatever, they're huge, and all they are was basically known for being a web browser.
Yeah,
not even a browser. They're being a
human data, the demographics, you know, those that were searching for certain stats within certain demographics and whatnot. They get everything through that. I mean, they're getting everything. They're getting your IP address. They're getting your trends, your habits, what you're buying, what you're watching, what you're listening to. I mean, fuck. Think about like Facebook advertisements. Notice how like appealing they try to be towards you as an individual. You know, like, and
because
it's worked out great. I've seen advertisements, you know, ads for concerts that I had no idea were in Montreal, but based on what I listened to and what I like, boom, they know. And that, like, I've seen shows, I've bought stuff, you know, based on that, and it really does work. But it's scary to think how they've gotten all that information. That's because we've given it to them. Like,
I'll go on a website and I'll shop through a website, and then the next day I'm on Facebook or I'm on a website that has advertisement, and the advertisement is about the website that I visited the day before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And it's constantly about that website. Here, go here. This is what we sell. And I'm like, this is fucked up. No. And I guess you're right. They just, well, I'm not guessing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just collecting the data about what I search, what I do, so that one day if I commit crime or a crime bad enough for any sort of terrorism, which I won't, by the way, I'm not saying I will, but
despite the beard
and the look, they could just go in and do it, say, well, this is your pattern. So we have all your information, and you've done this research, and you go on this and this and this, and then listen, if they tap into my system, they'll know. They'll be like, damn, this guy
watches a lot of porn.
Damn. Like I said, when I heard that they could activate the camera, I'm like, you're just gonna activate your camera and you're just gonna see me whacking off. I'm like, I don't think you want to see that. I'm like, the fuck, man. Like, you know, and there's people that have known of.
That's how criminals are gonna start eluding crime and being able to fool the government is like they'll pretend to be whacking off while they're making drug deals, and the others, you know, they'll be on with one hand doing one thing, and they're like, oh fuck, it's a guy jerking off again. Oh fuck yeah, let's switch next camera. You know, and you're like, haha, suckers. You know, in the meantime, he's doing a deal with the other.
It's
hand.
retarded though, because a lot of people are so paranoid about it, they put a little piece of black tape on top of that.
Yeah, Howard Stern does that. I was listening to Howard Stern the other while I listened to often until my Sirius demo runs out, which is shit coming up. Damn it, I didn't want to renew it. I'm checking the date because I think it ends now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but anyway, and he was talking about when he jerks off, he puts a piece of tape over the camera because he's worried that even though the camera's off, somebody's watching him jerk off.
He's probably somebody that the government would look
or
at.
Somebody is, or you know, if not the government, somebody trying to make a buck, right?
Yeah, he's like, hey, look, it's sucking this guy jerking off, and maybe.
Yeah,
but I'm not worried because I have nothing to hide. Like I said, like I'm not a criminal, so I have nothing to hide. So you can look at my record, you can look. I don't care because it's just information. But there's people out there that are super paranoid about it, either because of information or personal information. They don't want to feel like they're being I guess, how would I call that?
I don't know. So you're trying to tell them to get over themselves, that they're not celebrities, they're not important, and that their privacy isn't significant because nobody gives a fuck about what they do anyway.
But after a while, how much data can the government save and record? You know, like I don't know if it's affecting the.
It's all in the cloud, dude. All that info's in the cloud.
Yeah,
it's all up there in the cloud.
People don't realize, but everybody puts in the cloud, and every information you save, or all your pictures and all your.
Remember when a cloud was just one thing? Now it's taken on a whole different meaning. The word cloud.
Because of Apple, because of one company, because of one man.
Yeah,
it's pretty retarded if you think about it.
It's crazy.
But things are changing, I think, for the best for most part, technology-wise, and people want to think that the world is going to.
Yeah. And to all your conspiracy theorists that we mentioned briefly before, if you think there's a cure to cancer that nobody's telling you about, well, Steve Jobs is dead, so.
Yeah, they would have kept him alive.
If anybody was worth keeping alive, it was him. So I think we can put those conspiracy theorists to rest. And doesn't matter what South American fruit you eat after seeing a picture on Facebook shared by your friend who also likes to share that recipe for devil's fucking fudge cake or whatever. No.
It doesn't work.
It does. There's no cure to cancer.
You don't think so? They're
If there was,
working.
Steve Jobs would not be dead. Unless he, and maybe if they did keep him alive and it's a secret, like one of those Tupac Machiavelli conspiracy theories, if we're going to keep on the conspiracy theory trend, then we'll see what the next Apple product comes out.
You know he's dead. Everybody knows he's dead. But you're right, though. Like, if they were going to keep anybody alive, they would have kept somebody that has billions and trillions of dollars to pay for that.
It's, it's one thing saying Magic Johnson, why hasn't AIDS killed him? I mean, Magic Johnson, other than opening a theater and doing some bad color commentary in NBA games, hasn't really given us much back.
No.
Other than some good basketball.
He owns part of the Dodgers now.
Does he?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But he's never had AIDS, though.
No, but this is Steve Jobs. No, you know.
That's what people don't realize.
Well, that's it. Everyone doesn't realize. I learned
he
some
had
of that
the
watching.
HIV virus.
Yeah, you watch.
ESPN 30?
Yeah, and
the thing
that's it. And so yeah, HIV. When you get HIV, you don't get AIDS. HIV leads to AIDS because your immune system breaks down and shit. Blah blah blah.
I'm not.
And then you
putting
die
down
of AIDS. You die of pneumonia. You die of no. I mean, AIDS is still very serious.
It is,
Let's
but
not kid ourselves.
You can basically live with it now.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They'll make a pill like cancer. They'll never cure cancer, but they'll make a pill that you can live.
They'll make
with it for the rest of your life, but you're gonna have to pay me.
Yeah.
Money to get that pill. That's what they're at with AIDS right now. People have to pay to get the medicine that'll make you live forever.
Yeah.
Like you don't have AIDS. You stop taking the medicine and you're done.
Yeah.
How many times have you read something, we have the cure for cancer, but pharmaceutical companies don't want it out,
I love those.
blah, blah, blah,
I love those. I love those pictures. I love those memes.
It's hard to think that there's people out there that would really have the cure to cancer and would just like, how much money can I make out of it? Which probably there's evil people out there, corporations.
Yeah, watch enough superhero movies and you'll see that.
You think?
So I finally watched the rest of Iron Man 3 yesterday.
It was on TV.
And was it? Yeah, well, that's it. I caught a bit of it at my brother's, and then we didn't stay for the rest of it. So then I got home, and I had downloaded it a while back, and I didn't watch all of it. So I watched it. It's not very good. It's stupid. Gwyneth Paltrow was Iron Man 3, apparently.
Yeah, she's now a superhero.
Yeah.
And the Mandarin wasn't really what
that's the first time I watched it. As soon as that scene where you find out that the Mandarin's just some actor and he's being this
spoiler
drunk.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? It came out last year. If you haven't watched it, you're not missing out.
Yeah, you're not watching it. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope you weren't planning on watching it tonight. And
Oh no, you ruined my Saturday. Thanks, guys. Or whenever this ends up going online. But I don't know. That's when the movie lost me. Like, okay, so the Mandarin's not real, and what? So Guy Pearce is the bad guy, and again, it's those evil. There you go. Mandarin. He's an evil guy, and he's the Mandarin, but he's some evil guy with a corporation, and like you say, those conspiracies.
Iron Man was the biggest, grossest movie of 2013.
The biggest grossest or the bigrossing grossing? Because it was pretty. It was a pretty gross movie.
Sorry,
it was bad.
The biggest grossing movie it grossed the most money.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like,
what else came out last year?
Avengers? Avengers was
the year before,
which was is like of all times is like number 2
or
number 3.
Yeah, no, it was good, but still not. I rewatched it just to say maybe I was just in a bad mood the day I watched it the first time around.
If you're in a bad mood, all you have to watch is the part where the Hulk grabs Loki and
yes, I
him.
saw that part. I saw the other day on TV too. Yeah,
that's the best part.
Oh my god!
And then he's just
like, God.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, so I've been playing the Marvel Lego Avengers PS3 game there.
And how's that? I've never played any of those Lego games.
They're awesome.
I've heard good things.
That type of game where it's like you can't really lose. You get killed and you just reappear.
Yeah.
And it basically tells you what to do and where to go all the time.
Yeah, because I hate games. So I easily get lost in games. You do that where you're like, fuck, did I go through this corridor again? I went through. I've been here before.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been in this room.
Or you go around trying to figure out what's the next move. Like, what the fuck?
You read the review and it's like 12 hours of gameplay, and then you're like, wow, it took me 22 and a half.
Yeah. I've been going around for 3 No.
But, I'm getting my money's worth. I'm taking the tour.
My son is into like Spider-Man and Iron Man now. So he just sits there and he's like, can you play the game? I'm not playing because I want to play. I don't sit down
he wants
and play.
to watch you play it.
Yeah. So he's like, can you play the game? Yeah. So I play the game, and he sits there and he just watches the game like to him it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
He loves it.
I had friends that were like that, but they would smoke a joint. So good, I want to play that game.
You play it.
Can you play Grand Theft Auto, man?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. I traded Grand Theft Auto 5 for that game.
Oh, you traded it in?
They gave me
you got
$20
your,
for it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Nah.
That's it. I was surprised. I thought they were only going to give me $10.
That's a classic. People are still buying that game.
You think?
Yeah.
I finished it. I was done. I was like, I ain't going to play this game anymore.
Yeah, well, I figured my buddy told me playing online is really fun. I haven't given that a shot yet, though. After I finished it, I like switched to something else and played a bit of wrestling the other day.
PS3. How was that though? You played the.
I played
WWE
last year's the last one that came out on. Was made by the company that I was making them before, because now it's switched over to 2K. Now it's WWE 2K14.
Is it really?
Yeah, before it was THQ used to make the games.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like now. I know the newer version that came out last year now was like bringing the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man. They were like focusing on the retro guys, whereas the one I bought, which is awesome, is that it relives the Attitude Era. So like the heyday when we were like teenagers watching Stone Cold and stuff, you get to reenact all those moments, and they mix it in with actual, like they'll reenact it in the video game, like when Vince McMahon comes out and after fucking turning on Mick Foley or whatever, blah blah blah, after the screw job against The Rock, he'll come out and they'll reenact the whole thing, or they'll show like video montages before your fight. So that's pretty fun, for somebody our age. We can take us back to last time we still watched wrestling. Like I played these games, but I don't watch wrestling. With the exception of WrestleMania on a yearly basis. That's why we discussed it last week.
So, well, that's good, because I'm always looking for games sometimes to buy or to play if they're fun. I used to play a lot of the wrestling games on my Super NES, or is it Super NES or
Nintendo 64, like No Mercy and WrestleMania. Yeah, those games are freaking awesome.
They were really fun. They're simple but fun. You know what I mean? So,
and it had like every wrestler, every move was like in the game.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
You could do every move with every wrestler. Yeah. So, because I get bored with gaming a lot
these days. I'm very ADD. I get like fed up after 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Like I'll play for back to Netflix.
I'll play for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and then after that, I'm like, okay, I won't play for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, maybe I'll play. I'm bored. I got nothing to do. So
no.
How long have you been going on there?
I don't know. What time we started?
An hour and a half. We're only an hour and 5 minutes in.
No, we can do another. What are you gonna do? Another 15.
Yeah, maybe.
I gotta make sure. I gotta do a little bit of shopping before the stores close.
Yeah, can you talk for a bit? I gotta go pee.
I can talk. I can sing. I can dance. I'm on video. No, I dance horribly. Let's read the news, folks. What's going on? Actually, let's we're not live though, so this is kind of disappointed. Even if I do check the NHL scores, you're like, so what? That happened 2 days ago, idiot. But I'm gonna check anyway because I'm curious to see what is going on between the Chicago Blackhawks and St. Louis Blues. If you missed it, the Blues won Game 1 in triple overtime. These playoffs have been pretty badass so far. Montreal Canadiens looking very good against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just missing out on a shutout was Carey Price. Thomas Vanek's looking like a very nice acquisition. Let's hope he resigns. I hope they do. I hope they do resign Thomas Vanek. I don't know how you Habs fans or non-Habs fans feel about Thomas Vanek, but I think this team needs somebody like him who's still in his prime, will still put up lots of points for the years to come. But I'm liking that. I think Tampa is running out of steam quick. No goalie means no saves. And they don't have much offense when you look at it. I mean, they got Steven Stamkos, of course. Very good. No more Marty St. Louis. They've got Ryan Callahan now taking his place. But, young guys like Paulin, who's been hurt, so that is not good. And they got Tyler Johnson, who's in my hockey pool. So, of course, I love him. But, I don't know. Victor Hedman's finally developed into a pretty decent defenseman. But that team without Ben Bishop has absolutely no chance. All right, so I've killed a few minutes until he's returned. Not bad, thank you. And, Chicago, St. Louis. It's 0-0 right now, by the way. I killed some time with some NHL talk.
Yeah, I heard that.
All right.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Lightnings are...
they suck.
The first game was, you could tell the Canadians had a little bit of jitters. They were, a bit nervous. Carey Price was like, okay, let's get this out of the way.
Yeah. But last night was just all Montreal.
Oh, my God. Defensively, I was, super impressed with them. They're amazing.
Did a really good job.
Holy fuck. Stamkos is basically the only guy they really have to kind of worry about. Phil Pula's hurt. He's not playing.
He was playing, but he's not at 100%, so no.
He was? Fuck, I didn't hear
Yeah, exactly. You didn't hear his name.
And they have, who else do they have, man? They have a few young guys.
That's it. They got the young guys.
The point leaders, their point leader, what's his name? Paulin?
Andre Palat, yeah.
Palat.
Yeah,
He
he's
wasn't
hurt.
even
He's
playing
hurt.
yesterday.
That's it. He's hurt.
So I was like, man, that I mean, I was looking forward to a great series. But listen, I'm happy. They're doing great. I mean, fuck, man, they dominated yesterday. And
Yeah.
Rene Bourque got like 2 goals.
Ooh, looking like Mario Lemieux splitting
see
the
that?
D. I like that goal. And it was crazy on intermission or during intermission. The TSN guys or post game recap, whatever they were doing, just like Rene Bourque. Does anybody understand why this guy can't do this more often? Like you see these games, and it's everybody's got that same wow factor when it comes to him. Like when he lights it up, when he has a good game, you really notice him, and you go, "Fuck, the guy's 6'2". He's like 215 pounds. Like he scored 20 some odd goals in his career. Like, well, why is he so
Twice, no?
Yeah, why is he so goddamn inconsistent?
But I think it has to do with the fact that who he plays with and how many chances he's given. In
Yeah, but he
Montreal.
doesn't give himself many chances, until when he scores those goals. It's him that's creating those chances. He's taking the puck. He's using his body.
Yeah.
He's using his wingspan and whatnot. And like Pat Chiaretti's become amazing at it. Fucking. Whether it's just using his speed to get breakaways or beating defensemen down the wing. I mean, he's tall, he's fast, he's got power. I mean, God, that's something to see. Fuck, why can't Bourque do the same thing? You shape the same way.
Yeah, I think it's that the intensity in his game. But we've seen this many times in Montreal. He'll have a great game, and then we won't hear about him for
6 months.
So hopefully it's the playoffs, so he'll keep it coming. And Briere is like, what? This guy only plays in the playoffs?
Hey, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that everybody else, maybe. I was thinking about this because people are saying, "How does he change? How does he become?"
Why is he? I saw him on the.
But
his intensity is
maybe
retarded.
it's not so much that, but it's the fact that everybody else isn't. Like when it becomes the playoffs, some people get the jitters. Some people just,
So they go down, but he stays at the same level.
But he stays, or he's able to keep that focus. Yeah. Whereas, in the season, he knows what he can do. But I mean, also this year, you can blame it on the lack of minutes because he was pretty productive for the amount he played. But
True.
it's just he doesn't get those jitters, and all of a sudden he becomes more focused, more poised because everybody else is losing that focus and poise. Where he becomes,
He has that extra step.
maybe
on
it's
everybody.
that, I don't know. Because
Maybe.
how does a player become better? Well, maybe it's not that, but I know I get nervous in certain situations. I become worse at shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
When the
that.
pressure is on for a lot of people. But would it affect like so many people that it makes these guys look good? Like, how many players you can name? I can name probably 5 quick that like Johan Franzen in Detroit. He's a mediocre player regular season.
That's it.
And then come playoff time, boom. David Krejci in Boston.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but then he's fucking like more than a points per game in the playoff. And then you got Briere that's over a points per game in the playoff.
Yeah.
Then you got
And then you look back in the retired guys like Claude Lemieux. Like Claude Lemieux was always a pretty decent player. Well, I mean, he was a good player, but he was more of a pass and agitator. But all of a sudden, the playoffs, he turned, instead of half a point a game player, he was a point and a half.
Fuck yeah.
Like, these guys stand out all of a sudden when the cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just conserving their energy. They're like bears who hibernate
They
throughout
might.
the winter.
They might.
They're
I mean,
the season is their hibernation season.
but I mean, imagine if they played like that year round. I guess if they did play like that year round, maybe
Some
they
guys
wouldn't
would be
have.
burnt out.
They wouldn't make it
They'd
to
be
the
broken
playoffs.
down and burnt out. Yeah.
And I think that's what happens to the young players. How many young players do you see? It's always the young players, the young teams. At the beginning of the season, everybody's like balls out, and then by December, everybody's like, like it dies down, And then injuries start happening, and to young players.
Well, yeah, look at it. I mean,
man.
being Montrealers, Saku Koivu, that's what always would drive me nuts. By the end of the season, he'd be broken down, he'd be getting injured, sitting out games, and just fucking, he couldn't do it for 82 games, let alone 82 games and the playoffs. Because he was always great, always through the first couple of months.
True.
Koivu was up there in the top 20 in scoring, almost a point per game.
Yeah.
God knows, I know, because I freaking ended up picking him up off of waivers in our hockey pool a few years ago after a great October and November. And then it was downhill from there. So I'd rather have a guy, like Bergevin said when they got Briere. Some guys get you to the playoffs, some guys get you through the playoffs.
Yeah. At least they have him. They might not play him a lot of minutes during the season, but when it comes playoff time,
they know they can use him in any situation, too, it seems. He becomes a defensive genius. He becomes a better centerman.
Do they use him on the PK?
There haven't been many power plays.
That's
penalties.
very lack
I don't
of
think
power
in the
plays,
first couple of games. I didn't really notice him. Well, the first game I didn't get to see much of because I was at work, so I was kind of listening on the radio and glimpsing. But last night's game, there wasn't many penalty kills, and I didn't notice him in that role. But what they do use him is on the fourth line. Let's say with Bourneval. and Weiss,
Yeah.
who he set up for the game winner in
That's
overtime,
right.
right? But then every once in a while, they'll double shift him and throw him on with Vanek and Pacioretty or something. So they know they can
Vanek
use
is-
him both ways.
You know what I've noticed about Vanek since he came to Montreal? I always saw him as a one-dimensional player.
As like a
Basically, what I
sniper?
say as a goal scorer.
Yeah, but
he's a goal scorer.
I
That
thought.
guy scores goals. He puts himself in position in front of the net, and he bangs in rebounds, or he doesn't make plays. Holy fuck! Ever since he's been in Montreal, he makes plays.
Totally
and he
agree. Yeah, I
fucking-
had no idea he was that good of a playmaker.
And not only that, but he's a great skater. He can skate. He picks up speed in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, man? I saw him play yesterday. He picked up the puck in the neutral zone. He went in. He cut the defense. He beat the defense and then cut through the lane.
Yeah.
And then didn't have a space, so he kept the puck and just kept going around. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I didn't realize this guy was a playmaker. So bad.
yeah,
know,
he's
and-
got some soft hands. He's made some nice passes.
He's a great fit in
good vision.
Montreal.
I love him.
Man, I hope for Montreal they fucking can sign him.
Yeah,
I
I love
don't think so because the whole thing I think is he wants to go to Minnesota.
Yeah, well, let's see if Montreal's been able to. Maybe he can be a romantic
But I
thing
think
where he
it's
just
his
falls
wife
in
that's
love with
from
this.
Minnesota.
Oh, is it? I thought it was also
Yeah.
because isn't he best buddies with Pominville?
Oh, maybe
I think
because
that
they
was
were.
one of the
Oh, yeah,
reasons
because
when
they
they
worked
played
in,
in, yeah.
Buffalo.
No. But no, he's looked good, and
They can sign him to a lot of money. There's a few guys next year that Montreal. It's weird because I was looking at last year's roster for Montreal, and man, it's a totally different team. If you look at the third and fourth line,
Yeah.
oh my,
yeah, those
God,
pieces have
man.
changed big time. Yeah.
So I'm really happy. I'm happy for them. I've been following them for a while now, especially I live in Montreal. I can't
You
escape
don't have-
them.
yeah,
I
no,
listen
exactly. You
to
don't have
TSN
a choice.
690, and it's always either they're cutting down the Montreal Canadian or they're fucking sucking their dicks. It's
Yeah,
either or.
yeah. Yesterday it was a lot of
You know
dick
what I mean?
sucking. It seemed even
Yeah.
Glenn Healy was talking nicely about the Habs.
So,
Did you see that goal Datsuk scored in the lone goal to win
Nah.
the 1-0 game?
Nah, I missed
Oh
it.
man, only Datsuk can do this shit. Like a half-ass pass or whatever gets way halfway to him, crossing or approaching center ice. Buck's behind him. He picks it up with one hand, tucks it back between his legs to push it forward to him, as he then proceeds to make two defensemen look stupid.
Oh my God.
Getting a shot going lateral through I think it was through two defensemen's legs. So it's just a perfect shot, perfect. Goalie had no chance of seeing where that puck was going. The fact that he was able to pick it up at full speed almost through his legs from behind his back
scored
with one
the
hand.
goal?
Wow. I mean, as far as complete players and
That's
just wow
is really-
factor, I mean,
His puck
battle
handling
that
is
stuff.
out of this world. There's nobody that can puck
And
handle like him.
for them to beat the Bruins 1-0, I mean, I don't know who picked Detroit. If anybody picked Detroit to beat Boston, I know in our fucking hockey pool, a lot of us are
I picked
depending
all
on Boston guys, right?
I picked all Boston.
At least we'll
players.
all be on the same page because we've all got Boston guys.
I picked the Krejci and the Marchands and the
Yeah,
Van and
same
this
here.
and that and
Same here. You figure
crew.
they're built for the playoffs. Tuukka Rask has been lights out, but then all of a sudden they play a fast, speedy team that's not unlike Montreal, who also gives them shit fits in the season
Because-
and
well,
playoffs.
Montreal beats
and
them because
Detroit,
they're
even
faster.
without Zetterberg, able to freaking hold on to a 1-0 win. Wow.
Boston,
I'm
they have a hard time with this when they play a fast team, and it's shown against Montreal.
It just seems to be.
Like right now, if I had to pick a team to go make it all the way, of all the games I've seen, I don't watch much of the Western game. I
No.
never got into the Ducks and stuff like that. But if I had to pick right now out of the East, the best team right now was probably the Canadians. And I'm not saying they're playing the best, but depth wise,
Yeah, I don't know what
their
it is.
fourth
Just
line
something
plays
about
like
this
their
year.
first line.
Yeah.
It's if you can have that consistency where the fourth line plays like the third, the second, and the first
Yep.
line, and gives you as much production. Then so you don't have to play those fucking 25 minutes a game.
Absolutely. Like we said, I mean, when Daniel Briere is playing fourth line for most of the game and is able to contribute
Yeah.
and get his line to score the game winner, when you got guys like Lars Eller, who all of a sudden are picking up their game at the right time in the playoffs, along with everybody else, if they can keep rolling, like the
Yeah.
Vanek line has been rolling, and Carey Price can keep stopping pucks.
Oh, he did some
Subban
great
keep his
job
head
yesterday.
straight, head on straight. Weaver's been very solid defensively. George is back and healthy.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll stick around without getting hurt again. Amlin's a fucking beast back
He
there.
He's the physical type of defenseman.
I like
He
him.
makes a few
I
mistakes,
like
but
him.
he fucking He's aggressive.
I like him. I'm really
He
happy he's sticking around long term.
He fucking finished his check yesterday.
Oh, and TJ Brown. Yeah.
He fucking bent them in two against the boards.
Did not
there.
like that. Brown did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're built, and that's why when we talked about last week, dark horses for the first time ever. I'm saying Montreal, and it's not a picking with my heart. It's picking with my gut and my brain a little bit. But you get this
depth wise. They get to play these guys the same amount of minutes.
Yeah.
So they don't tire them out. So in the the thing I noticed yesterday's game is that they had the same intensity in the third period that they had in the second period, which is not to say that I missed the first period, but I think Tampa Bay probably played their best period of the series in the first period.
Yeah.
But Price kept them off the board.
Yeah, he made some nice saves, kept them in.
And then second period, they fucking kicked it in Montreal, and they kept that intensity.
And then what happens?
The last
and then
minute.
Tampa tries to intimidate a bit with their Gudas, and Price freaking wins the fight.
Yeah,
looked very good.
Yeah, fucking.
I mean, he didn't knock him down, but I mean, he was throwing all the punches. Gudas wasn't landing anything, so that too. It's like, all right, guys, everything is right now is going in our favor, and if they keep it up, they won't be banged up after this round.
No, and imagine if they can they can sweep it 4 or 5 games. They're going to face the winner of Detroit and Boston. And as much as Detroit looked good yesterday against Boston, I don't think they're going to win 4 in a row.
I don't think so.
And the way Boston's playing, maybe it'll be a 7-game series. Imagine they're playing Boston that's just went 7 games and they went in the 5-game series. They're fresh.
Yeah.
Their players are... Listen, it's great playoff hockey. Overtime here and there. It's amazing. I love it. I watched the Pittsburgh game, which they're playing tonight there.
Yeah.
I was really
they bounced back
because
they weren't looking so good.
Their first period was horrible. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then they picked it up in the second, and then they dominated in the third.
Yeah.
But you had to come from behind against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Get the fuck out of here, right? It resembles last year where they beat the Islanders in the first round, but they had a fucking hard time.
Yeah.
And if Fleury, I don't want to put it on Fleury. He made 31 of 35 stops. Okay. You let in 3 goals. It's not that 4 goals. No, 3 goals.
Yeah, 4-3, right. Yeah.
So, okay, I'll give you that. But tonight, he better be fucking better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if he lets in 3 goals every game, then Pittsburgh score, I don't want those one game. Because when they get to the second round and they face a team like, who would they be facing? The winner of... So Montreal will be facing the winner or Montreal and Tampa Bay will be facing the winner of Detroit and thing, and then
switched everything around on this year, right?
Who's the other Eastern team?
The other Philly, New York.
Oh, Philly, New York. So I'm
Where's
not worried.
The bracket? Why can't I just see it?
As long as they don't face Philly, because Philly seems to have the Penn's numbers where they get under their skin and it's all clusterfuck from there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's very interesting, and there's nothing like the NHL playoffs. It's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah,
I love to watch them. So, what are you on right now?
I'm on NHL's website, and I'm just trying to see the goddamn bracket. There we go. Montreal will play the winner between Boston and Detroit. Pittsburgh, Columbus versus the winner from New York, Philly. Colorado Mini would play the winner of Chicago, St. Louis, Dallas, Anaheim.
How about the
LA,
Avs?
San Jose.
Avs played well.
Avs, nice comeback. I have them going a little far in these playoffs. I'm hoping. Yeah. We talked last week, like, who's an underdog? And I threw out Colorado's name. Yeah, it's their first place, but I mean, that's Colorado.
They're
last
young.
year they were the worst, and they're young. So
they went
there's
from
a
the
lot
third
of
worst
if
team
factors.
to the
There's
third
a lot of
best
questions.
team in the league.
So it's kind of hard to pick them as an obvious favorite, whereas Anaheim has been a little bit more solid. St. Louis, who, I picked, but then I said, well, Chicago, I got it in my heart a little bit, but also, I mean, Chicago's been there, done that a lot the last few years. St. Louis is looking a little run down, but
they lost the last 6 regular season games.
But they pull off the win in the first, and they're winning right now, 1-0 in the first period of their Game 2 matchup.
Overtime. It's the type of series that's going to probably have like 3 or 4 overtime games, if not more.
But Anaheim's looking very good. I like Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim. Getzlaf got the puck in the fucking mouth.
That's a man.
Bang. Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to him do an interview. I mean, poor guy. Rah, 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 rah. You can't freaking talk properly. He's all swollen and
his
cut
wife
up.
gave birth like the next
Just
day.
had a baby girl. Yeah.
Jesus
Crazy.
Christ, bro. Mm-hmm. Fucking hockey players. Imagine that, man.
Real men.
So that's it. What time, man? It's
3:45.
Yeah,
Gives me an hour to
get some shopping done.
buy some Easter eggs and whatnot for the kiddies.
Yeah, my girlfriend's going to be home in like 5-10 minutes. So better call it for the day. Hopefully the video section portion will work. If not, it'll just
Hopefully
be
they'll be able to check out my dance moves at intermission before.
Oh, you did some dance moves?
I did.
That's
not
all right.
the Mark Bergevin. What's the Mark Bergevin? He does one.
The twerk?
I don't know what he's doing.
He's like, he does like this, like that. No, no.
Oh yeah. It's more of that. Yeah.
Like a fucking.
Did you see the video where they stick him in like a rave?
No.
And they had like wah 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 wah, and he's just like. And they like spliced it and cut him out, photoshopped him perfectly, and he's in there amongst everyone in the club.
Oh, he just spazzes out.
Yeah, it's great. Check that out. I've never seen a freaking Mav GM get that excited for
My
first win.
1 month old right now. That's what she does. She goes like this every time. Like I'm like, hey, he spazzes out, and then he's like, yeah, he's looking for somebody. There's nobody around.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Somebody touch me.
please. And then they pan out to Steve Yzerman. That's just like fucking like no reaction,
no,
like
nothing.
Score, and he's like fuck, like nothing. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
You're the GM.
but hey, emotion's fun. We like it.
It's playoff. That's fine. You know?
Playoffs. Woo!
So that's it for episode 14 of the Modern Maverick podcast. It'll be online soon. Well, obviously, if you're listening to it, dumbass. And so we'll come to you back next week with episode 15. Thanks for listening. Check us out on the Facebook at the Modern Maverick podcast. Check me out on Twitter at Steph Paulin, STEPHPAULIN, and my boy over here at J Flynn MTL on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
And same thing on Facebook, Jonathan Fly. That's
yeah. I'm going to go back to Flynn though.
Flynn?
Yeah, actually,
Jonathan
I'm going to
Flynn.
fix that. We're going to go back to Jonathan Flynn.
And
but yeah, I should match up because I think it's Flynn 24/7. Like if you do Facebook.com/Flynn 24/7, you'll find me. But I should just make it the same as my Twitter.
That's fine.
And Hotmail at JFlynnMTL if it's not taken.
So anyway, like I said, if you interested in sponsorship, hit me up on Facebook or email at info@modernmaverick.net. Thanks again for listening and tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. Ciao.